Authorities are investigating after a mother and her 2 young children were found to death inside a home in Bonanza.
So deputies say they aren't ruling anything out, but family members of the victim tell us they do not believe that Charity Beallis, the mother, would harm herself or her. 4029's Abner Sosa spoke with her family today.
3 in developing this morning, Sebastian County deputies are still working to learn what happened inside of a Bonanza home.
Yeah, it was where a mother and her 2-year-old children were found on Tuesday morning. Family members say the children were twins who had just been baptized the day before. Loved ones say that they're waiting for answers about what led up to the violence.
If they wouldn't have swept it under the rug when Randy did the same to her, this would not have even happened. I am praying for the family because my family knows the horrible pain that they are feeling firsthand. My aunt was shot by this man, and maybe this will bring enough attention to get her case reopened.
We have a mother that was found passed with her 2 twins, unfortunately, the day after her divorce was finalized. And then the day after that, her husband, or ex-husband, as you say, filed a motion to dismiss the divorce so we can get the property and the house back. And not only that, the husband, a doctor, has a past with the ex-wife. Pretty much, they found her unalive too. And this man has not answered or been arrested for any of that. Fugitive TV. Welcome, I'm your host, Ray Marcel, and this right here is Fugitive TV. If it's your first time here, please like and subscribe because we talk about true crime, unsolved cases, and we take a look at it from my perspective, which is a fugitive perspective because I was once on the run from the law myself. And not only that, I did time and all kind of other things. Now I'm here talking to you. And what I'm trying to do is look at these cases from sometimes a different angle that other people can't look at them from just because of my life experience, all right? Today, what we're going to talk about is the case of Charity Beallis. She was married to Dr. Randall Beallis. Now, this is out of Arkansas in a small town called Bonanza. I didn't even know there was a town called Bonanza, but there's a Bonanza, Arkansas, come to find out. And it started with them finding her unalived with a weapon wound, a blast to her chest, and her twins. Now, her twins are the age of 7, and the same thing with them. A weapon and a wound to the chest. Now, December 3rd, law enforcement conducted a welfare check at Charity's home in Bonanza, Arkansas, where they discovered her and her 6-year-old son and daughter that were there. I know you're thinking to yourself like, wow, who would do that to the mom and the kids, right? Who would do this type of thing? That's crazy. Here's the thing. It's like, I don't care what beef you have over with somebody, but don't take it out on the little ones. Why? They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. I'm not saying go, use your weapon on everybody. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that because even her life is valuable and that's wrong. But what I am saying is why take it that far? Why? They didn't do anything. But I'm going to give you a little timeline of events, all right? And then we're going to discuss who, what, where, and why this probably happened, all right? So we're going to take this all the way back to February of this year. You know what? We're going to take this even further back. We're going to go back before those twins were even born. Now, Dr. Randall Beallis and Charity got married and ended up having 2 children. Charity had a son before him. He's 20 years old now, I believe. Well, there's always been reports of domestic violence between the two, dating way back before the twins were even born. There was a report of him holding up a weapon to her face. Holding up a weapon to her face. She said that he was heavily intoxicated at the time. And at the time, he was an alcoholic. And she also believed that he was on drugs. She believed he was using the needle, pretty much, is what she believed. Now, This was before they were born. Now, I don't know if this is while she was, expecting or not. That part I don't know, but this is before she was born. Now, after they were born, things were still kind of rocky. I mean, they weren't as rocky, but I guess they have their little spits and spats. But still, she was supposedly still getting abused by this man. Now, on February 16th, 2025, Randall Beallis was arrested after allegedly choking Charity in their home in front of the twins. He was charged with several offenses. Now, I'm going to read to you what these offenses are.
During the investigation, the children also reported that their father had suffocated them and threatened to harm them if they told anyone. Charity told investigators that there was infidelity and that in August 2013, Randall beat her and almost strangled her to death. He portrayed her as the aggressor and had her arrested, but the charges were eventually dropped. Between the years 2015 and Charity's pregnancy with the twins in 2019, Randall physically abused Charity numerous times.
All right, so this was filed on February 16th, 2025, so the beginning of this year. Charity Beallis, her husband, Dr. Randall Beallis, was arrested after allegedly strangling Charity in front of her children at their Bonanza home. Charity filed for divorce on March 5th, 2025. 5 News confirmed on Friday that the final divorce hearing, scheduled for December 2nd, was held at the Sebastian County Courthouse in Fort Smith. On December 4th, after officials announced that Charity had passed, Randall's attorney filed a motion to dismiss the divorce case. So one day after she passed, the attorney filed to dismiss the divorce case. And she passed a day after the final decision was made in court. So very odd that all this happened, within the time frame, or maybe it's not odd. Maybe it was timed. Charity and Randall shared 2 children, both of whom were born in 2019. Charity asked the court for full custody of the children because, according to the March filing, Randall was facing domestic violence charges. Additionally, a court order barred Randall from contacting the children of Charity. So he was not supposed to contact them or be around them. Documents in the divorce case say the couple shared property in the 1100 block of South First Avenue. After Randall's arrest, the filing says Charity owned that property where the children were also living. So after the court date, he had to leave the house, and it was pretty much her property after that. Interesting. Now, here's the information on Randall, or Randy Scott Beallis. That is where he was living currently, I believe, or at that time, because it's a different address than where they lived at. So his booking date was 2025, February 16th. And then his release date, he bonded out, looks like a couple days later, February 20th. A lower felony. And he was out on, because you see it says right here, total bond 0. He was out on signature bond, meaning that it was a promise to appear in court. And there is his mugshot. Wow, that county, look at that. They do old school mugshots. They actually draw and write your name and print it. That's crazy. And then here we go. Bond number, bond amount 5,000, 250, 250, 1,500. Court date was February 24th at 12:30 p.m. He had a domestic battering charge. The offense date on this one was February 17th. Then endangering welfare of a minor, 2017. Then endangering welfare of a minor again, 2017. So that's because there's twins. There's 2 of them. Then aggravated assault on a family or household member, choke, February 17th. And all this occurred after midnight. Now, on March 5th, 2025, Charity filed for divorce and requested a protective order and full custody of the twins, citing that domestic abuse was apparent. So that was her reason. Now, on August 25th, Charity commented on a local news post expressing fear for her life and her children, and stated she felt the justice system was protecting offenders and rejecting victims. So she wrote this on a news post. Then, October 2025, Randall Beallis pleaded guilty to those charges that happened back in February. Okay. He got a suspended sentence and he had to pay a fine. Now, December 2nd, 2025, Charity and Randall attended their final divorce hearing. So this is December 2nd. Keep that date in mind, during which the judge reportedly awarded them joint custody of the kids. So even though he had a criminal history of being abusive, the judge still awarded joint custody. Now, December 3rd is when the welfare check was done, and two workers entered their house with the sheriffs, and that's when they discovered the bodies. Now, December 4th, the day after, okay, Randall's attorney filed a motion to dismiss the divorce case due to Charity's death. So you have December 2nd, okay, which is their last hearing. Then you have the very next day, December 3rd, which is when they discovered her. And then December 4th, his attorney filed a motion to dismiss the divorce case. Now, let me play devil's advocate real quick, okay? Some of you guys are like, why the attorney? That's that. Oh, he's devil's advocate real quick. Or devil's advocate. Sorry. Devil's advocate. My dyslexic. When it comes to certain things, attorneys don't have no empathy. They're not supposed to have no emotion on certain things, right? Because they're hired to do what's best for their client. That's what they are. They're hired to do what's best for their client. That is the reason why you hire an attorney in the first place, no matter what it is. So what's best for his client is to hurry up and file this motion, even though Charity passed and the twins passed, okay? What's best for the client is for him to hurry up and file this motion quickly to get this done, all right? So we might hate him, but he's doing his job. And that's unfortunately, he's doing his job. But at the same time, it makes Dr. Randall look a little guilty. That you can't deny. Now, December 9th, 2025, Sebastian County Sheriff's Office, with assistance from federal authorities, including U.S. Security Service and Homeland Security, is actively investigating the passing. No suspect has been officially named, although Randall's attorney states he is cooperating with the law. So police are saying Randall is not a suspect. So this right here is from Doug Warner, and it says, Mr. Beallis was not responsible. Those are words of the attorney for Randall Scott Beallis, the now ex-husband of Charity Beallis, who was found along with her twins. In an email to me today, attorney Michael Pierce says his client gave a voluntary interview to investigators and has allowed access to anything requested by the sheriff's office. Court documents reveal a turbulent year leading up to the last week's gruesome discovery in Charity's Bonanza, Arkansas home. She had filed for divorce in the weeks after Randall was accused of domestic violence in February. He later pleaded guilty to third-degree domestic abuse in October. Both were fighting for custody of the children during the course of their divorce, which was finalized on December 2nd. And remember, December 2nd is the day before she was found. The day before their bodies were found by law enforcement during a welfare check. On the heels of Charity, adult son and father accusing Randall of being involved in the deaths, Pierce stated Mr. Beallis was not responsible for the deaths of Miss Beallis nor his children. SCSO was unable to answer direct questions about the ongoing investigation. They did share they have a number of active search warrants in motion and are still waiting to tell Crime Lab report. So they have a number of search warrants. Who are they searching? Hope one of them is Randall's house. She filed for divorce. Now, see, they got this house together. This house is worth $760K with 40 acres of land.
Court records show that on February 16th, Charity Powell Beallis called police reporting that her husband, Dr. Randall Beallis, assaulted her inside their home.
On February 16th, my son-in-law, my daughter in front of her children, drug her down the steps, and he was arrested.
Beallis initially faced 4 charges and ultimately pleaded guilty to 1. On March 5th, Charity filed for divorce in Sebastian County. In that complaint, she asked for sole custody of the twins and wrote that there had been a history of violence in the home. Today, I spoke with Arkansas State Senator Terry Rice, who confirmed Charity came to him for help earlier this year, telling him she feared for her life and her kids.
If it hadn't been for him, she'd have probably been before now. But Senator Rice done everything he could.
On Tuesday, December 2nd, Charity and her husband met in Sebastian County Court for the final hearing in their divorce case. The next day, police found Charity and her twins dead inside their Bonanza home. On Thursday, a day after that discovery, Beallis and his attorneys filed a motion to dismiss the divorce. Charity's family says they still have not heard from law enforcement.
I had to contact the sheriff in another county that I know through high school to get him to even confirm that my daughter was. They would not even confirm to me that my daughter and grandchildren were.
The Sebastian County Sheriff's Office says they have not identified any suspects in this case, but also say they haven't ruled anyone out.
Now, here is the home. As you see, it is on a Zillow $750K. And it sits on almost 40 acres. 40 acres this home almost sits on. It was built in 2013. That's a lot of acres. And that was what Charity was supposed to get out of the divorce, was that. So when she filed those papers back in March, even though they got the house together, they awarded the house to her because he had to leave the house. So technically they said, I guess she owned everything. Now, during the divorce finalization, I guess she was awarded the house and the property. All right. Now, since the lawyer came and filed that motion the day after, now the house and the property goes back to Randall because she's passed. So it goes back to Randall. So he gets everything back. Cars. They're not even listing any money that's in the account. He gets money, house, he gets the property. Now, I can't confirm this, but the family is saying that there was also a life insurance policy on Charity.
The day after they were found dead, Randall filed for the divorce to be dismissed, a deal the Powells say would have benefited Charity.
Looper Auction was supposed to sell the house within 60 days, and she got her new BMW, $10,000, and half the earnings that the property bought, which he would go to him. With her, now he gets to keep that, plus her insurance he had on her, her life insurance that he had on her. He's the only one that had anything to gain.
I wonder if there's a life insurance policy on the twins. But supposedly there's a life insurance policy on Charity, so they're saying he probably did this for a financial gain, allegedly. Who knows, right? I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know. Do you think that he should be a suspect? Now, we're not done with this. Nope, not at all. The wife he had before Charity, okay? Shauna, I believe it was 2012. She was found with a self-inflicted wound, self-inflicted, allegedly, to her. All right? Shauna Graham Beallis. They ruled that as self-inflicted, so he wasn't a suspect. Now, the family of Shauna has maintained that Shauna did not do it, that her husband at the time, the Dr. Randall Beallis, did it. And some of the family even says they have evidence, but because of his status in that little town of Bonanza, nobody did nothing because he had money and he was a doctor in the town. Okay? Here's some posts from these people. So, Shauna Jeanette Graham Beallis, the wife of Arkansas Dr. Randall or Randy Beallis, passed on January 5th, 2012 at the age of 34 in Fort Smith, Arkansas. She was a licensed practical nurse and mother who passed away suddenly from a self-inflicted wound. Authorities officially ruled her passing that she did it herself, with no evidence of foul play or accident reported in official records or investigators at that time. This detail has come up again recently amid news of what has happened now. We have right here from Courtney Don Richards. He unalived my cousin Shauna, claiming she ended her own self. I was young when it happened, and I knew he was guilty as sin. Even though her mama and the whole family have pushed for him to be held accountable for her passing, he weaseled out of it and went on to live his best life. And now another woman and her twins are gone because of him. Dr. Beallis is disgusting and a very evil man. So the old family is definitely speaking out. This is from Whitney Chavez. So Whitney Chavez says, the whole reason he got away with it with my aunt is because he was a well-known doctor. We had so much evidence to prove he did it, but that didn't matter because of his name and money at the time. So that was from Whitney Chavez, but she's not done. She also says he was cheating on my aunt with Charity. So her aunt is Shauna. He was cheating on my aunt with Charity. They were married very quickly after. She moved in and was driving my aunt's car within the first couple of weeks of my aunt passing. We got zero of my aunt's belongings. He also added a life insurance policy or self-aliving life insurance policy on her a couple months before she passed. So she's also saying that he added a life insurance policy on him too before she even passed. And then you have Teresa Davis Graham. For any of you who are friends or know Randy Beallis, be sure to wish him and his wife, if 8 months, Charity Beallis, a very happy new year. It shouldn't be hard for them since Shauna is out of their way for good because of how she passed. Don't you think they deserve all the happiness in their life that they've been enjoying since right after Shauna was removed? So this was back in December 30th, 2012. Teresa Davis Graham already suspected that. Now, as you see, they even said that supposedly she had a life insurance policy on her too. I don't know if it's true or not. And that he was the only person that would get the money if something happened to her. And not only that, supposedly, allegedly, when he found Charity or when he met Charity, he was still married to Shauna and was cheating on Shauna with Charity. So that would make it a motive right there. Let me get rid of my wife so I could be with the new girl. Because think about it. If Shauna would have discovered that he was cheating with Charity and Shauna wanted to get a divorce, she will automatically win and get half money, the house, whatever it is, because he's committing adultery. That's just the way it works. Whoever's cheating, if they get discovered cheating and you're married, and you take it to court and you got a good lawyer, you're going to win because they shouldn't be committing adultery anyway. If you're in the military, that's actually, a big violation. If you're in the military, you go to jail for that. So think about that for a minute. If he was cheating, that would be a motive. Now, I'm not saying he did it, but that would be a motive. So his second wife gets found with a wound, and they said she did it to herself. And now you have this incident. Both of these are to the chest. Well, I don't know about the first one, but the new one, Charity, it's to her chest, and the twins to their chest. I want to know where they found the weapon. Was the weapon supposed to be in her hand, or was the weapon in another room? That would tell a big story. Now, in these news reports, I was looking at the house, and it shows the house. The house is gated. There's a big gate in front of this house. Now, here's a question I do have that I can't find. Was the gate an automatic gate? It looks like it could be an automatic gate because it's a big gate. So it looks like it could be automatic to where you press the button, opens up. So if it's an automatic gate, let's say if somebody came through the gate, did they have access to know the code, or did she let that person in before they did what they did? And was there cameras around the house? You have all that property and you have a gate. Usually you got cameras. So what did the cameras catch? Now, the old family of Shauna, like I said, they believe the doctor's responsible. They believe Randall's responsible, or Randy, whatever you want to call him. They believe he did it himself or he hired somebody. So would that be the case for this one too? Did he do it himself or did he hire somebody for this one as well? Now, Charity still has a father and her older son, okay, who was 20. Her older son right now wrote a letter to the judge, and I think he is trying to fight to get what is owed to Charity, I guess, which is the house and the land. So he's trying to get it right now, okay? Now, if you ask Charity's son and Charity's father, they believe that the husband or the ex-husband, whatever you want to call him right now, is responsible. They believe he is responsible for it. I mean, what do you think? You think he is? They're not holding back nothing. Now, there was a video that came out years ago because Charity's oldest son did not live with them, but he did at first. There was a video that came out a long time ago, which I'm going to play for you guys, where I guess he got into trouble, and it wasn't that big of a trouble, or supposedly he didn't text back in time. So when he got back, they went outside and pretty much slashed their tires.
Give me your phone. I'm shutting it off.
Here comes the next one. Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's called being the parent, buddy. My truck in my name. Yep. I paid for it.
Yep. Give me that phone.
I'm sorry about that. Not their tires, but they slashed his tires. Meaning as in Charity, and you see her husband slashing his tires. Ever since then, the son left and didn't supposedly, I guess, go back to the house. He left after that. He said they were both, he didn't want to deal with it. Okay. But I mean, what do you guys think in all this? Is it coincidence? Is it planned? Did he hire somebody? Did he do it himself? What kind of connections does this guy have? I'm interested to know. It is a small town. So you got to think, if he's a doctor in a small town, right? Means that he is providing medical care for all kind of people in that town. Lawyers, judges, law enforcement, politicians. And if he's not providing medical care for them directly, their children, wives, nieces, uncles, nephews, grandparents, because he's a family doctor. Meaning it's a wide range of people he sees. So if this is a small town, my chances are that, or the chances are, I should say, is that he's been providing medical treatment to anybody in this town, which could be law enforcement, judges, politicians, and whatever you want to call it. So if this is the case and he has a connection, was he holding a bingo night with one of them, a poker night with some of them as well? And they're protecting this guy? Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. Friends in high places. Let me know below. What do you think about this? All right. And have you heard of this? All right. Also, let me know what city you're watching from. State. I want to know all that. The more you comment, the more my channel grows, and it's been growing extremely big. I'm trying to get to 14K followers by the end of the year. I got 1,000 to go. So help me get to 14K. So the more you guys comment, like, share, the more followers, the bigger I can get with this channel. Okay. Well, let me know what you think. This is Fugitive TV. I'm out.